Hey there guys, this is Cammy from Street Fighter, and it's being made by Jada Toys, and I'm really excited about that because the only other figure that I have of her is basically from Hasbro, and this is a massive improvement over that figure. I tried to recreate the victory pose from Street Fighter 5, but to be honest, I haven't played that game. I have played Street Fighter 4 and as well as all the older ones. And here is the box that it comes with. It's shaped like an arcade machine, and here's a close-up of Cammy, or her profile pic, I mean. And here's a close-up of the back if you want to see the roster. Apparently that's what all the figures are going to be based on. And let me show you my Cammy from Hasbro. For those of you who don't know, Street Fighter did a crossover with Power Rangers many years ago. It was for like a mobile game. I only played it once, but I didn't really play it for very long. I mostly played the PC game, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. That's where I'm most familiar with the crossover. The major problem I have with Hasbro is the way they design their butts. It's extremely flat and ugly, and not to mention it hinders the articulation as they prevent the legs from going backwards. On top of that, the thing I don't like about it is the stomach. Instead of just having a ball joint, they just did that little thing that lets you go forward and backwards, which again looks terrible and it pretty much just hinders your articulation. And for anyone who doesn't watch Power Rangers, what Hasbro did is extremely terrible. They basically just took the pink Mighty Morphin and then they just tweaked the designs here and there just to make it kinda look like Cammy. And to be perfectly honest, this is like one of the worst figures they've ever made. For the Power Rangers line to be specific, and unfortunately they did the same thing for Ken. They just took the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger and they just tweaked it to make it kinda look like him, but not really. At least with Cammy you can actually tell who it's supposed to be. With Ken, not really. The thing that is putting Jada Toys above Hasbro right now is the fact how they design their figures. They're actually faithful to the character, unlike Hasbro, mainly due to the fact that they don't want to offend parents, so they tone down their body proportions and they alter the designs to make them more appropriate, I guess. But to be honest, it's mostly adults buying toys these days, so I really don't get why they still do it. Man, when it comes to Jedi Toys, I am loving their female figures. I really hope they get other licenses like Darkstalker and Mortal Kombat. Like, I would love a Felicia and Jade from them. Like, this thing is amazing. Now, when it comes to the Jada Toys version, the thing that I appreciate the most and what makes this figure superior to the Hasbro version is the fact that they sculpted the cheeks on the legs. Because of this, the butt actually looks way better as it's able to retain its shape regardless of how you pose it. And when it comes to the stomach, they gave it a ball joint, which means you can rotate and swivel, which is great. These are the types of figures I want to add to my collection, and quite frankly, with how action figures are made more for collectors than children these days, I don't understand why some companies choose to keep censoring. Especially from companies like Hasbro. Here's a figure from 2014, this is Black Cat from Marvel Legends. Now this is the type of figure I wish they were making right now. Alright, and now it's time for the accessories. Here's the head. It's more of a screaming head, and just like the default head, the hair is actually rotatable. And it's also made of a very soft plastic, so you don't have to worry about getting in the way of anything. And you can even remove them and swap them for the other one if for whatever reason. The figure comes with a pair of fists, which are already on the figure itself, and As an alternate, you got these hands. I don't know what the correct word for them are, but that's basically what they do. It also comes with an effect piece so you can recreate an attack. However, I don't have it on me as I've had this figure for a while. It's in my pile of effect pieces. Alright, now it's time to show off the articulation, starting off with her legs. She can kick up that high. She also has a really nice knee bend, rotation at the boot, and the foot has a swivel. And not to mention, her legs can do the perfect split. And because her cheeks are sculpted to her legs, from the backside, it looks way more natural and more appealing than the Power Rangers version. When it comes to Cammy, her legs and her cheeks are definitely her most important assets. The fact that she looks this good while articulating them is phenomenal. Now, if you bend her forward too much, you will definitely start to see those holes where the leg connects, but they're pretty easy to hide. Oh, and I also forgot to mention the figure does have a thigh rotation as well. Now, when it comes to her chest, it's also in a ball joint, but no butterfly joints, but it honestly doesn't matter. The arms are able to move pretty well. I don't know why, but personally I love neck articulation. In my opinion, they give the figure way more personality. And what's cool is that there's actually shading on her outfit. On top of that, they also put paint on her legs for camouflage. Now, I have seen people remove the paint on her legs with nail polish remover, but personally I'm gonna keep mine the way it is. And that red triangle on her chest is well painted, although to be honest, Cammy has a very simple design, so it's pretty hard to mess up. She also has double jointed elbows. And she also has arm rotation and hand rotation. This figure can also bend backwards pretty well. Now when it comes to bending forward, it's good, however, she's not going to be able to touch her toes. But with this range, you can have her driving a vehicle if you want to. I have most of Jada Toy's Street Fighter figures, and I'm loving all of them, but there is one thing. When I bought mine, they were $25, but it looks like moving forward they're going to be $30, and if you want a deluxe figure, it's going to be an extra $5 on top of that. Now when it comes to Jada Toys, I think they're totally worth it at $30. When it comes to another company like Hasbro, which they're raising their prices as well, I gotta say, hell no. Right now it seems that Jada Toys is focused on Street Fighter 2, but I really hope that they don't take too long to venture into the other games. Mainly because Street Fighter 2 only has 2 female characters and I really want them to make more. And now it's time for the comparison. Here she is next to her Power Ranger counterpart. And most importantly, Jada Toys' Chun-Li. And if you're wondering where her face came from, that's actually from an exclusive from Jada Toys' own website. And here's Ryu, who's also made by Jada Toys. And I'm now going to show you the Power Rangers Ryu and Chun-Li figure. What's cool is that these was actually made for an actual collaboration in the video games, while the Chun-Li and Ken versions were an original design by Hasbro, which were pretty terrible. I gotta say, whoever designed the Rangers for Chun-Li and Ryu, he did an amazing job. By the way, if you've never played Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, I highly suggest you do it on PC. You can actually play it with high frame rates. Now here she is standing next to Guile from Street Fighter, also made by Jada Toys. And I gotta say, maybe I'm being a little bit biased because these two are my favorite Street Fighter characters, but if I could only buy 2 figures, these two would absolutely be it. They look so good together. She is next to some Hasbro figures that I have, Black Suit Spider-Man from Marvel Legends, and the Red Turbo Ranger from Power Rangers Lightning Collection. Now these Dragon Ball figures are actually third party, but they are based on figure arts. This is Super Saiyan 3 Zeno Vegeta and Super Saiyan 4 Zeno Goku. And this is a figurized Kamen Rider model kit from 01, and a figure arts Kamen Rider Saber. Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe, and I'm gonna be uploading more videos soon.